Okay, the day's come to put the motor back in the frame. Off camera, all I really did was basically saw the majority of the bottom end going back together. All I really did was put this right side case on and finish things up. Side note, when I was putting this together, if you guys notice what I forgot to put in there and didn't realize till after the fact, leave it in the comments. It's kind of funny. I'll tell you guys next video if somebody can guess it, but left something really major and very, very important out. So I went back and threw that in and then just buttoned up the right side case and then just put the flywheel on. So we're ready to put the piston on, get the motor in the frame, torque everything down, start putting this thing back together, and then hopefully today get the do a first start and see if she'll fire. So yeah, let's put the cylinder back on and get going. Cleaned up the carb off camera, just a couple of small things. Put the seat cover on. So yeah, should be good to go. Just throwing a little 2-stroke oil in here. Get it nice and lubed up. So anytime you pull a head off, you're supposed to replace the little copper washers that go on these bolts. I just got some OEM ones from KTM. I don't know if, I don't think that kit came with new copper washers or the bolt kit. So it's always a good idea to replace these because you squish them when you torque the head down, and then you're supposed to get rid of them after you torque them. So we got cylinder on, head's got new crush washers. When we get it in the bike, I'll be able to torque everything to spec because it's just really hard to hold onto the motor and do that all here, but it's easier to put the cylinder on and everything gets started out of the bike. So were you filming?
Yep.
Okay. What's it hitting on? So now that we got the motor in, we're just going to come back through and torque down all the cylinder bolts and the head bolts. This is the right torque spec right there. If you're watching close, that's the right torque spec. Okay, now we'll do the head stay, coolant hoses. I got a new spark plug we'll throw in there. Carb. Well, everything else. Put the motors in, it's nice. does he torque his cylinder head bolts to the correct spec? And then I'll say, did you watch the video? Because check this out. And then they'll be like, oh, he does torque his cylinder heads to the right spec. He is a real mechanic. He is really good looking.
We have your screws for like the mechanic shop.
That's true. Yeah. They're like they say he's a mechanic, so I guess he is. We're just gonna scrap the whole YouTube thing and I'm gonna quit. Okay. Oh. That better be the last time. Oh, if it's not, I'm gonna kill someone. It is cool when I get things right. It's just not very often that I get it right. And never right the first time. You see that, Matt? It's freaking genius. See how I put that screwdriver in there? Look, you can't see it from that side, Matt. It goes right in there so that I can squeeze it without just squeezing the pins. So I push that clip over far enough to be able to get the master, or not the master link, but this little clip in there. Sometimes I think with both my heads. Okay, instead of just one. Oh yeah. And it spins. So I don't think we have any binding issues like what he had, remember before how he said it didn't want to roll in neutral? Seems pretty normal to me, so. I've been thinking about that. I don't know that I necessarily did anything or like fix the issue. It could have been one of those transmission bearings that were toast. What I think is that where that race busted out, that bearing probably just walked its way out to where it hit the clutch. So I'll bet you that bearing just pushed itself up against the clutch and made the transmission stiff. But it seems fine now, so. Like I said, I don't know if we fixed it, but it's not doing it anymore. I like it when they cut to all the bolts, like, you know what I mean? Like it just goes and all the bolts are in. 80-20, 80% yes, 20%. I would agree with that. That's like spot on actually. Because like it's not like we check spark or, I mean, we're gonna look at the carburetor, but we're not gonna really change any jetting or anything. Like I don't know if that spark, battery could be dead. I don't know. We could have other issues that we just are not aware of.
Yeah.
But nothing's led to me to believe that it was, you know, it was running, he said, when he tore it down, but who knows, you know? Okay, I figured we should probably open up the carburetor just really quick before we throw it in the bike, just see if anything's like obviously clogged. Just run some brake cleaner or some carb cleaner through it, just so we don't have to get in there and, or put it in the bike and find out the pilot jet's clogged or just something janky. So we'll open up the carb really quick, kind of go through it, and then put it on the bike and keep going. I can't think of like a reason why it'd be clogged, apart from just like sitting without any fuel in it. Maybe this guy used like ethanol gas and it's, I don't even know how long this guy had the bike apart for. But we'll just do our due diligence and look at it and then put it back together. I don't want to change jetting. The guy ran it for 40 hours at this elevation with whatever jetting's in here, so I don't think we'll make any jetting changes. Carburetor's clean. We'll pull these jets out and put some carb cleaner through them, but I can already see the main jet's like perfect. Let's just pull that, pull the pilot jet just to be safe. So the pilot jet was actually clogged, so it's kind of nice. Helping out future Brett. Oh, I wanted to see. 38 pilot and a 172 main. That might be the easiest carburetor I've ever had to put in. Look at that. No, it's a little tight. Damn, I did celebrate 2 cent that. Can you see it?
Yep.
I wonder if that's gonna leak.
Was it leaking before?
I've never had coolant in there before. Well, I can't get the right side case on without the skid plate off. And this janky tool I have is the only tool that has the right torque set on there. I have all the ones for normal KTM, but this skid plate is an awkward size. Oh, you fucking bitch. Matt, I need something from you though.
Yeah.
It's like a little black gear up there.
Black gear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You got that on video? Of course you did. How's it going? This thing's not the fastest, but at least it's accurate. So this is mainly just water. I had a couple of random half-used bottles of coolant, dump that in there, and then the rest will just be water. I'll have to order some more coolant, but for startup, it'll be just fine. Plus it'll give me a chance to kind of flush this system from sitting so long, so I'll just run some shitty coolant through it with some water and then fill it with good stuff. Okay, first start, it's a little nerve-wracking. Just filled it with oil, some garbage coolant, fuel I had laying around, just to see if it's gonna start. I got E-start is not there, so I figured the battery would be dead. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with that. Everything else is hooked up and ready to go, so we'll give her a few kicks and see if she fires. Tires are flat, brakes need bled, clutch needs bled. I mean, it needs quite a few things before we ride it, but for the end of the video, I just want to see if this thing's gonna run. So without further ado, here goes nothing. second kick. There you have it. That was legit. That we didn't kick it beforehand or nothing. So yeah, second kick, she fired right up. Carb's leaking, so we probably got to do a bowl gasket. It looks like it's just leaking right out of the bowl. So we got to do that. Coolant, charge the battery. The air filter is not oiled, but it's in there. So next video, we'll probably just have all that stuff done and maybe do just like a normal reveal. Get the electric start working, put all the plastics on, obviously, the seat. But yeah, that's pretty sick. Fired right up, and it seems to run really good. So we'll get that leaky carb fixed, some real coolant in it, button the whole thing up, and show you guys the finished product next time. Pretty sick, huh, dude? Second kick, and she just fires. So we thought we'd fill you guys in on the XR. Obviously, you haven't been seeing it in the garage. So I ended up listing it, thinking it would take forever to sell. And some guy from Arizona hit me up almost immediately and was like, "Oh, I just saw your bike on Facebook Marketplace. Like, I need it. My dad had that exact same bike growing up, and it's super nostalgic to me, and I've been looking for one for like 2 years, and just haven't found one that I like, and saw yours, and it's exactly what I've been looking for." And I had listed it for $2,900, and he was like, "Let me just send you the money right now. I've got a friend in Utah that can come over to your house and pick it up." So he Venmoed me $2,900, and one of his buddies came and picked it up the very next day. So I thought I would list it. 29 was kind of high. I figured it'd sit on Facebook Marketplace for a couple months. I'd be able to ride it a little bit more, but that guy hit me up almost immediately and just gave me asking price, so I couldn't turn it down. So I sold it to him. So if you guys remember, I bought that thing for $1,800, put about $400 to $450 worth of parts, and then sold it for $29. So